Hi, I'm Bruce here at Victor Eric, and I'm the integrator at Victor Eric. So today, we're going to answer some questions about design-build integration and why it's important, and probably some other general questions as well. If anyone has any questions, feel free to post them directly in the comments section. Lena's going to go ahead now with the first question.
Okay, first one. What are some of the best reasons to go for design and build within the same company, given there are a lot of contractors to build?
Great question. So probably one of the first reasons I would say is that you're going to have budget control. If you choose the same company to do both the design and the construction, they're going to work hand in hand and make sure that you have a design that matches your budget. It's really disappointing if you go with a design company and they design a beautiful building, interior, and they selected all these wonderful, amazing finishes. Then you go to your contractor and you find out that it's 50% more than you can afford. This is obviously disappointing and also results in a lot of rework, and you have to go back to the designer. So having them work hand in hand will ensure that you're getting a project that matches your budget. Another reason is that as the owner, you don't want to be hiring a lot of different people because you're going to be then responsible for managing them. If you hire one company, they're going to work hand in hand and make sure that whatever vision you have is also executed. And there won't be any finger pointing between the design and the construction team because, of course, they're from the same company.
Okay, the next one. What level of detail do your drawings go into?
Our drawings go into a very high level of detail, and we try to show all aspects of the home. For example, in the interior, if we're elevating something, we're going to show everything where it's located. How high it is, how large it is, what type of material on it, what color, and all those level of all those specific details. So this will allow the construction team to execute the design. And as the owner, you will know everything that's happening before it actually is built.
Okay, the next one says that, can we make the upper floor a legal suite and rent it out instead of basement?
If you're dealing with a single family home, the suite would always be in the basement. However, there's nothing preventing you from living in the legal suite and renting out the upper portion of the home.
Perfect. The next question says that what type of renovation will give you the best ROI? That
one. So this question could go in quite a few different directions. I'm going to start kind of in general. Depending on how much money you're going to be spending, assuming you don't want to spend too much money, the most important thing I think would be to improve your curb appeal. So this would be things like landscaping, painting the outside of your home, maybe a new roof, power washing. Those are definitely going to improve the curb appeal on the outside. And then on the inside, the most important thing is probably making sure that the home is decluttered and in good shape. And the other economical thing you can do inside is painting as well, flooring. Those kind of renovation things don't cost a lot of money, and they improve the look of it a lot. Moving further into that question, if you're going to spend more money, the next area I would say that people want to see is kitchens. That's probably the most important. And then, of course, bathrooms. Master ensuite, probably number one, and if there's a large shared bathroom, that would also be another important area. These are probably areas you want to be spending your money in first. And one of the most important things is to make sure you know what your budget is when you're going into renovation. It's very easy to start a renovation and you do one thing, and unfortunately that makes the next thing not look as good, and then you go there and you end up kind of going from thing to thing, and you end up spending more money than you come in. So it's good to come in with an overall plan. If you're doing a cosmetic renovation or superficial renovation, plan it, stick to it, and move on.
Perfect. Next question. Can I get any rebate from government by replacing the windows and doors?
Yes, and I'll refer you to the Clean BC Rebates website. If you just Google Clean BC Rebates, they'll be able to show you all the rebates that you can get for doing renovations that are energy upgrades. And there's other rebates on there as well, such as putting in a heat pump or high efficiency furnace, and even a high efficiency hot water tank. I think they have a few for those, and insulation too. You can definitely do some rebates, improve your home, and get a little bit of extra money back from the government.
Perfect. So, is a 40-year-old house too old?
I'm going to assume that question means is a 40-year-old house too old to renovate, and the answer is absolutely not. That would be built in the 1980s, and that would definitely be worth renovating. A rule of thumb for renovating is how much are you saving, and you want to be saving a substantial amount of the home. If you're not saving, say, more than 30% of the home, you're probably better off to go new build. That being said, a 40-year-old home is probably definitely worth renovating. The wiring's probably still in good shape. The plumbing might need to be upgraded, and there might be many other things you could upgrade, but the shell is probably good. We regularly renovate 100-year-old homes, and in those cases, we're often doing it for retention of some kind of character. But again, a 40-year-old home is still relatively young.
Perfect. And the next question: do you include sustainable solutions in your projects?
Definitely, and it will depend on the type of project we're doing. Ultimately, we're dictated what we do with the owner. We do obviously work closely with the owner and want to respect all their wishes. But we do some high performance homes, which obviously have a lot of sustainable parts to them. We also have sustainable landscaping, and we try where possible to use sustainable products.
Okay, perfect. And the last question: do you have any strategy to make timeless designs and constructions?
Yes, so I think the first part of this is the actual design. So picking a traditional home, such as a Craftsman, French Chateau, Tudor, or even a transitional home, is a good starting point. Anytime you go with ultra modern, it typically dates itself very quickly. It might look great today, but 5, 10, 15 years later, it's going to be, oh, that was built in the 2020s. We've got lots of examples, going back. You look at homes that are built in the 90s, you can just tell, it's got pillars, arches, and glass blocks. So those kind of things date them very quickly. So picking a timeless design for starters is good. And of course, the next thing is the construction. It's really important to use quality, durable materials. Nothing looks worse than seeing a 3 or 4 year old home, with flaking paint or wood siding that wasn't finished properly and those kind of things. So the construction execution is also very important to make it look timeless. And typically a home that's built today should last 100 years.
Okay, great. We still have some time. Do you want to add something? Or you think that's pretty much everything?
I think we've covered everything. Really, we're a bit early on time. Any other questions in the comment section right now?
No, everybody says that awesome, good job, and everything. So if we don't have more questions, that would be everything.
Perfect. Okay. Well, if anyone does think of any questions later, feel free to reach out to us, and we'd be more than happy to answer them. Thank you very much for joining us today.